In the winter months, people head to Alberta's frozen lakes to ice skate. Of course, you can cross-country ski, and you can even make art. That's what earth artist David Popa has just done. Originally from New York City, David is now based in Finland and travels the world using landscapes as his canvas. His newest project is called Renewal, created right here in Alberta near Nordegg. Can you describe for people who haven't seen it, like what we're talking about when we talk about your Alberta projects?
Yeah, so essentially I'm a land artist, and so I'll use chalk and charcoal and spray it just with a household garden sprayer to make a large scale land art installations that can be seen from the eye of a drone. And so I did three large scale pieces in Alberta, right? Two on Abraham Lake and another in the Klein Canyon. And so, yeah, it was just an incredible adventure. And the works are these ephemeral works of art that then basically wipe away. And especially on Abraham Lake, it was literally the following day that both pieces were, the wind absolutely took it. And so, yeah, it was an incredible time.
Yeah, and so these are like, one of them I was looking at was almost like a portrait. So it's only there for about a day and then it's gone?
That's exactly right. And so it's documented through the adventures, documented through video and photo. And yeah, but it's part of the reason why I love it, and it was also why it was so difficult to create, especially on Abraham Lake when you have the Chinooks coming in. And I was collaborated with Travel Alberta and worked closely with Brett from Canadian Rockies Escapes, and he basically said it was a miracle that I was able to even create the works of art there because of how quick the winds can go. And since I don't use a binder, right, it's literally just chalk. It ends up just being chalk or charcoal on the ice. You have any quick, like fast, and I witnessed it at the fastest point. It was 100 kilometers per hour on the windiest day. And so it was a miracle that we pulled off the project. And it was, yeah, one of the coolest places I've ever been.
And the work is so cool. Is it kind of a bummer though when it's there and gone?
Personally, it's what makes it really special, especially for the following day that I went. The portrait almost looks, I mean, nature turns it into its own unique portrait, right? And so the chalk it ended up creating an entirely different image, which almost looks like the portrait, decaying in a way. And so it's very fascinating. It's a dialogue with nature, which makes it really interesting for me. So yeah.
And the bubbles, like you incorporated the bubbles of Abraham Lake. Can you describe how you did that?
Yeah, so that was the whole thing where, of course, Abraham Lake is known for these methane bubbles, and I wanted I wanted the feeling of what it feels like for me personally as a guy who, grew up in New York City and just wanted to escape into nature, what it feels like to feel renewed in nature. And so I created this portrait of this figure with her eyes closed in the, expansiveness of Abraham Lake with all the bubbles. And I did that by basically creating a false illusion where I basically created my own large scale bubbles and adjacent next to the portrait, so that it looks like she's taking this this sort of exhale, this rejuvenated in this calm pose on Abraham Lake. And so it was a 2-day project that we had to complete. And miraculously, that night in between, it didn't completely disappear, because the following days, it was pretty much gone.
Yeah, it's wild. It looks like they're taking a breath. Like it's incredible stuff. How did you first catch wind that Alberta's a place maybe you should check out for this?
So it was crazy. I was talking with a buddy of mine, and I had just started making works on the ice, and that's when my work started to go more international. And he said, "Hey, there's a couple places in the world where the ice is the best," and we had seen the methane bubbles online with these unbelievable, the cracks, and I mean, we just saw these crazy images. We saw Abraham Lake and then Lake Baikal in Russia, and of course, there's Abraham Lake is a little bit more accessible than Lake Baikal in Russia, and so just a dream come true to be able to go and do this in Abraham Lake. Yeah.
I'll admit I don't know much about what Finland is like. How did Alberta compare to places that you've worked on the landscape in other places?
Oh, well, I mean, it was absolutely stunning, especially for the ice. I mean, I primarily in Finland, I'm working on the Baltic Sea right around springtime when the ice floes crack and everything, and it's beautiful. The problem is that the ice is usually it's very I guess you can say, because of the thawing and freezing constantly happening over the year, it's white ice, which is very different to Alberta, where if you get the freezing and it freezes so quick and so deep, you have this unbelievable turquoise blue. So to have that, the bubbles, the cracks, there's just very few places. And then, of course, the snow doesn't cover it completely because the wind is so strong. So it's just one of the only places in the world where you have this phenomenon. So there's really no comparison. And so, yeah, it was unbelievable.
Do you think you'll come back?
I think I'm going to have to. I don't know. I think there are a lot of people that were pretty thrilled that I was able to do this in Canada and specifically in Alberta. And I made such great friendships along. Like I just had to do so many amazing things. We took the helicopter Rockies Heli Canada, and it was just so many great connections, so many great memories, and so many amazing people also in the Nordegg region. That was so cool to be able to connect with some of the local artists there, and just really special. And it was my first time really properly in Canada, and you guys are just way too friendly. It was just like
I know I was ready to say sorry about the Chinook, so there you go.
especially living in Finland and New York. I mean, people are pretty reserved, and yeah, it was just really it was really great to have. I mean, because it was really a team effort. I obviously created the work, but there was a kind of a big team behind me that were just keeping my sprayers warm in these. We developed a whole method to do this that I had never had done before in the past, because some days did get cold. It was -10, -15, and so just the group and the camaraderie, it was so awesome.